The presidential debate last night was the biggest load of that I have seen in a very, very, very long time. I think it's pretty obvious why Kamala Harris insisted upon having the debate on ABC. Because those were biased as and it wasn't enough for her to have the debate on a biased news channel with the assistance of two moderators. This unscrupulous still had to find a way to cheat. Look at her earring. Look at that. Does this look familiar? Yeah, it's an audio earring. Here's another clip of it. So not only was it 3 against 1 on a biased channel, but she also had to have the assistance of an earpiece. So someone was telling her what the to say. And for the record, the migrants, the Haitian migrants, are in fact eating the animals. So let's not pretend that Trump is saying some crazy. And for a party that claims to be so fucking woke, the media is manipulating your and you're falling for it. When the migrants land on your front doorstep, don't complain. When groceries and rent get so high that you can't afford to shelter or feed your family, don't complain. Don't say this is what you fucking wanted. You want to fight for a woman's right to choose, but you can't even define what the fuck a woman is. At this point, everybody is pretty decided. I don't think there's many undecided voters out there. So let's take this polls. Because I got a feeling there's going to be a lot of pissed off Kamala supporters come November.
All right, y'all, we are back with another video. Now, before we start, please put prayers for Donald Trump in the comment section. We must protect President Trump at all times. If y'all haven't checked out my previous video before this one, please go check it out because I went absolutely off, and I'm about to go off in this one too. I'm not playing around anymore. The way they are treating Donald Trump is just freaking pathetic. We went live last night watching that ABC debate. The way the moderator was ganging up on Donald Trump, there was no pushback on Kamala Harris at all. They let this woman spew lie after lie after lie. They didn't fact check her not one time. They constantly tried to keep fact checking Donald Trump, and he was right about what he was saying about them Haitian migrants eating cats and dogs. That was true. They tried to say that it wasn't. I mean, David Muir should be fired. Both of them should be fired. And then it has been talks about they need to lose their job. It's all over Twitter. Go on X right now. They want them gone. Is ABC going to do it? Probably not. But I don't like the way, the thing is, moderators don't even supposed to inject themselves into it. They don't supposed to fact check. They're supposed to left that up to Kamala Harris if she thought Donald Trump was lying. But what they did was they was helping Kamala Harris out by trying to fact check Donald Trump and be like, okay, we fact check him. Kamala, what you think about what he just said? They pretty much was pitching her what to say next. The woman was lying. Every question they asked her, she danced around it. She didn't answer nothing. They didn't even ask Donald Trump, was he all right? They glad that he's okay after he almost got assassinated. After he almost got assassinated, they didn't even ask him, was he okay? It just don't make any sense at all, and that type of stuff just pisses me off. They wasn't fair at all. Just ganging up on Donald Trump. But I wanted to check out this video right here by Dr. Steve Turley. And he got even more clips from yesterday because this right here has backfired badly on Kamala Harris. The entire internet is buzzing right now around Donald Trump. His poll numbers is still skyrocketing. He was up 55% after the debate, and she was like around 35, 36. So she didn't win this debate. Donald Trump won. That's the reason why she wants another debate with Donald Trump. He's saying he might not do it, and I don't blame him. He won. She won another debate because she didn't do good. So like I said, without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into this, y'all. Let's go.
This debate, which was really hyped as being a big thing, did this underdeliver or did it deliver? Did this actually, this debate, which was really hyped as being a big thing, did this underdeliver or did it deliver? Did this actually mean something to you? In the back, stand up.
Hi, my name is Shelley. No, from Donald Trump's presidency before, he can fix the economy.
Yes.
So I was really looking for her to make an impact on my thought process tonight, and she didn't deliver that.
The Harris campaign is in a frenzy today as voters are indeed beginning to officially turn their backs on her, all as a massive backlash against the ABC moderators is raging across the internet.
Yep.
We're going to see precisely what really happened last night and why it's all good news for Trump and very, very bad news for Kamala and the permanent political class. Hey, gang, it's me, Dr. Steve, your Patriot Professor, here to help you stay sane in these insane times. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe. We're going to dive right in here, but let's talk about what really happened last night, because I think a lot of commentators this morning, a lot of conservative talk radio, social media pundits, they're completely missing what happened in that debate. And I can understand it. They're livid. They're absolutely livid over that disgraceful display of double standard partisanship on the part of those so-called moderators. Even Meghan McCain, freaking Meghan McCain saw it.
Yep.
She tweeted out last night, "I've been telling you guys for years how much ABC hates Republicans." Of course, she used to work for ABC on The View for a number of years. Everybody saw it last night. Every single person watching that debate saw how overtly and pathetically partisan those ridiculous excuses for moderators were. Everyone. Now, of course, if you're on Team Kamala, Team Joy, you're all for it. You stopped caring a long time ago about the integrity of an election. All you unhinged Karens care about is power. So you're all for it. But, and this is key, gang, this is precisely where I, as your Patriot Professor, am here to help you stay sane in these insane times. I want to take you back to the single most significant political moment immediately preceding this debate. That moment that redefined American politics as we know it. Now, if you're listening by way of our 20 million podcast downloads, what we're seeing here on the screen is that epic moment when Robert Kennedy Jr. stepped out on stage with Donald Trump and announced the new populist realignment that was dedicated to taking down the establishment once and for all.
Yep.
This is what unites the populist left with the populist right, a shared loathing, a shared abhorrence of the permanent political class, and now a shared commitment to take that permanent political class down once and for all. That's the context in which we need to interpret what happened last night.
Exactly.
That's the cultural, political context. Because if you have that context in mind, then all you have to do to get your sanity back in all of this, all you got to do is ask yourself one question. What did those tens of millions of voters who now belong to this new political realignment on both the left and the right, what did they see on display in that debate last night?
And I tell you now, they seen how biased David Muir was and Lindsey Davis. Like, it was just so freaking pathetic. It just pissed me off that I was live streaming last night and we was watching this live, how they tried to fact check everything Donald Trump is saying, which is it's not even their job to do. They was pretty much helping her. And then the Democrats, they talk, oh, Kamala won. If Kamala would have went to Fox News and there was some biased debaters, just say if it was Sean Hannity and Jesse Waters, Judge Janine, if it would have been them and they was doing with the same thing that the ABC moderator was doing to Trump to Kamala, oh my God, they'll be livid. They'll be talking about Kamala was triple team. Trump had to have help. That's what they would have been saying. But they know for a fact that them ABC moderators was helping Kamala Harris. This woman told lie after lie after lie. And they ain't say nothing. They didn't say nothing. The woman didn't even do a follow-up on, they were asking Donald Trump about her being, him saying that she was black. Donald Trump said, I don't really care about that. Whatever skin color she want to be, I don't care about that. But it was the fact that it was going around the internet was the reason Donald Trump brung that up. Because it was going around the internet. A lot of black people was calling her out. It wasn't Trump. It was black people calling her out. Because she was pandering. They didn't do a follow-up on that. Why didn't they ask her, say, hey, Kamala, you on tape saying you're Indian. Why are you now saying you're black? Why is you changing your accent? They didn't ask her nothing. She didn't answer any questions. The entire night, her whole goal was, let me just try to get under Donald Trump's skin. Let me just say Donald Trump ain't did this. This woman brung up Charlottesville. That stuff was already debunked. And she's still bringing it up lying. Talking about crowd sizes when she busting people in because she can't get people to come to her rally. So when she can't bust people in, she go to these high schools for where there's more cameramans out there than people. It's like, come on. It just don't make any sense. I don't like stuff like that. You don't supposed to put your input on whatever it is just because you don't like Donald Trump. If you're gonna do that to him, do it to Kamala too. Y'all didn't do any follow-up questions on her. Y'all let her spew all them lies to try to make Donald Trump look bad, and that's the reason why the polls are saying Donald Trump won that debate last night. Every single poll. Go to Donald Trump True Social right now. Every single poll got him winning. Every single one of them. They trying to cheat is what they trying to do.
What did they see? We all know what the woke left saw. We all know what liberal cosmopolitan America saw. But what did this new nationwide populist realignment made up of both left and right see last night? That's the key to understanding what really happened. It was the establishment that both the populist left and the populist right equally loathe. That was really on display last night for all to see. This wasn't mere media bias. This wasn't another Candy Crowley moment interrupting the debate to fact check Mitt Romney. Those were different days. Those were different times. This was the establishment. This was the permanent political class on full display. That's precisely what Robert Kennedy himself said after the debate. Same with his former VP nominee, Nicole Shanahan. They both said last night's debate was Donald Trump versus the permanent political class that we are all now united to take down. And the amazing news is they did not break him.
They didn't.
Trump stood his ground.
He did.
They failed to break him.
Yep.
So, yes, of course, today they're doing
They doing everything they can. Dr. Steve is right. And Kamala Harris was trying to play the race card, calling Donald Trump a racist. This is the same woman that called Joe Biden a racist. She's the same woman that called Joe Biden a racist. But want to try to go back 50 years and say, Donald Trump said this. Donald Trump said this about black people. When it's stuff about Joe Biden saying if you're having a hard time voting for me or Trump, then you ain't black. And then she turned around when she was running against Joe Biden, she called him a racist. That's why Donald Trump said Joe Biden don't like her. He really don't. He really don't like her. He know you called him a racist. I mean, they didn't do any fact check. That's the main reason we all mad, because they didn't fact check her on nothing. I mean, when you up here watching and listening to this woman lie and they ain't giving any pushback like they doing towards Trump, it just pisses you off. Even if you don't like Donald Trump, you got to be like, man, that wasn't fair. Even if you don't like Donald Trump, you got to come out and say that wasn't fair. Democrats ain't going to say that because they want to win. They don't care how they got to win.
Everything they can to muck and ridicule him and puff up Kamala.
Yep.
But for the tens of millions of Americans who are now part of this new populist alignment all across the nation, they saw a very different debate. They didn't just see 3 against 1. They saw the establishment once again trying to take Trump out.
Yep.
And they saw the establishment once again failing.
Yep.
And how did they fail? Well, that leads us to the second major takeaway from all this. Again, take a look at what even Meghan McCain saw last night. She called the questions that these so-called moderators were asking as, quote, elite Manhattan debate questions that have nothing to do with real ordinary Americans economically suffering and who can't pay for groceries. She nailed it. She absolutely nailed it.
Yep.
It was actually one of the first reactions I had to these debate questions. Nobody in rural America cares a whit about 90% of what they were asking. This is how the permanent political class and their attempt to sabotage Trump is totally backlashing on them.
Yep. And you got to look at it. Donald Trump did the best he could. I mean, to where he was up against, I wish it were more that he would have said. I wish he would have brung up about Bernie Sanders saying that she's going to lie because she just want to get elected. Bernie Sanders just went on CNN and said that Kamala Harris is lying. That's why she had to change her policy, because she just got to lie just to get elected. I wish Donald Trump would have brought that up. The same way I wish he would have brung up, you the same person that's trying to call me a racist and all of this crap. But yeah, you the same person that called Joe Biden a racist. But you over there on his side. You his vice president. It was a good bit of things I wish Donald Trump would have said. But given the circumstances, it was 3 against 1. So the man had to just, get out where he can get out. They kept cutting him off when he was finna ready to make statements. They'll cut him off and they'll let Kamala Harris ramble as long as she want to. Never cut her mic. It was a time that they didn't even mute her mic. That's why Donald Trump had to use her own slogan against her. Like, I'm talking. Do that sound familiar? I'm glad he did that. Donald Trump didn't talk not one time when this woman was talking. When Kamala Harris was talking, don't y'all realize that every time she was talking, she was looking at Donald Trump. She was making these little old faces, like a lot of black women that I know make them type of faces, putting her hand up under her chin, making these. That's what she was doing. And Donald Trump didn't look at her not one time. The only time Donald Trump looked at her is when they first came on stage and he shook her hand. From the time Donald Trump was locked in, because when Donald Trump is locked in, he start doing like that knife pointing thing. How he do his hand, because he's really just driving home his point of what he's trying to say. And I like when he do that, because they let you know the man is about business. Let's go. Let's go.
All the gotcha questions, all the questions about January 6th and Charlottesville, and all the questions about the 2020 election, and all the questions about Trump's character. The vast majority, particularly of rural America, doesn't give a rip about these things. What they care about is, what are you going to do to fix the economy?
Exactly.
What are you going to do to stop this out of control inflation? What are you going to do about the jobs? What are you going to do
Ain't
about...
there something that they asked Donald Trump about J6? So you're going to ask this man about J6, and when he said that it's Nancy Pelosi's fault, then David Merrick going to say, well, we ain't talking about Nancy Pelosi. We're talking about you. What? Why ask me about something that has something to do with Nancy Pelosi, but I can't say her name? It was just questions that had nothing to do with what the American people care about. They want to know about these groceries, how these grocery prices are going to come down, the border, immigration. All of that is what matters. They asking Donald Trump about why you say this about Kamala Harris being black. It's just crazy. It was a bunch of stuff that people don't even care about. The whole point was to try to make Donald Trump look bad. That's why Kamala Harris kept looking at Trump. She was just trying to attack him instead of going off policy, just like you heard that woman say at the beginning of this video on Dr. Phil. She still didn't give any answer on policies. Everything she's saying is just make-believe. She's just saying whatever she thinks she needs to say just to get elected.
The border. And to that end, it's very important to note, I think Trump did very well.
I think he did too.
Key themes of economy, jobs, and border at least a dozen times, not to mention the unraveling of our world order and possibly getting ourselves in the midst of World War III. By contrast, Kamala failed literally at every turn to define what the heck her policies are, which is precisely what this debate was supposed to enable her to do. And as a result, as we saw at the beginning of this video, voters are turning against her for it. And even worse, voters in Pennsylvania. Check it out.
I think it's important to remember that we are voting for the leader of our country and not who we like the most or who we want in our wedding party, but who is actually going to make our country better. And we're in an incredibly unique situation where we've had both of the candidates in office before, and we've gotten to see what they would do. And when facts come to facts, my life was better when Trump was in office. The economy was higher, inflation was lower, things were better overall. And now with Kamala's administration, things haven't been so fantastic. And she's saying she can fix the problems that her administration has caused, but I just don't know if I can afford to take that risk.
Were you leaning towards the former president coming in tonight?
Probably.
And did you vote for him in 2016 or 2020?
I did.
Here's CBS's panel of undecided Pennsylvania voters saying literally the same things.
She just basically repeated everything that Biden has.
I'm glad she just said that. I've said that before, I think in my previous video. She came in and repeated everything Joe Biden said to Donald Trump the first time. Don't believe me? Go back and watch the debate, I think that was in June, when Donald Trump and Joe Biden faced off. Look at the same stuff that Joe Biden said to Donald Trump. Kamala Harris came to this debate and regurgitated everything Joe Biden said. Charlottesville, what you say, you a convict, you a criminal, you got to go to, what she say, you got a court date in November. It was just all type of stuff. She bringing up charges when they the one who got Trump in this mess because they can't beat him, so they going after him using the court systems. So she came in there, and that's the thing. These Democrats ain't going to say that. They ain't going to point out that she just regurgitating everything Joe Biden said. Everything Joe Biden said, she came right in that debate and repeated it again, knowing it's a lie. I'm glad this woman right here just said that. People know what's going on. Let's go.
In your voters saying literally the same things.
She just basically repeated everything that Biden has said in the past.
What were your thoughts? Donald Trump made a strong closing statement by saying, why didn't they do all the things that she's proposing during the 3.5 years that they've been in office? And Biden did this entire moderate stance back in 2020, and she's trying to do it again in 2024, but she didn't talk about her policy changes between 2020 and 2024. Her whole centrist moderate stance is just a facade.
Even MSNBC was forced to air the wrath of one undecided voter over Kamala's culpability with the southern border catastrophe.
We still have to have a controlled border, a secure border, because, yeah, we've had a lot of people going through the border illegally. My family went through a long process to get here legally. So I feel that it's unfair for hundreds of thousands to get here without problems, and then for the federal government to help them out. We've also lost Americans because how many illegals we're letting in, like the young boy from Ohio who had killed by illegal immigrants.
Even CNN was forced to show that Kamala actually lost support on the economy to Trump last night. She lost 2 points, and Trump gained 2 points before.
Look at that. Look at that right there. That's why I was telling people. So I don't know what the world these Democrats running talking about Kamala Harris won when she ain't won nothing. I ain't won nothing. Look at this. Before the debate, Donald Trump was up 53%, Kamala Harris 37%. After the debate, Kamala Harris lost 2 points, 35%. After the debate, Donald Trump gained 2 points. But then the Democrats running talking about Kamala won. Won what? The woman didn't explain any of her policies. Is we better than we was 3 years ago? What does her upbringing have to do with that question? Every time she was asked a question, she would give word salad for about 20 seconds, and then she'll start attacking Trump. Every single question, she did that. And MSNBC not one time follow up behind her and say, hey, Kamala, I hear what you're saying, but was we better off 4 years? Like, come on, answer the question. Better off now than we was 4 years ago. They didn't do any follow-up. They let her keep running with that word salad, didn't correct her at all. Look what the poll's showing. Every single poll, like I said before, had a win. This is CNN's poll. And look, now she want another debate because she got destroyed. If I'm Donald Trump, I wouldn't take another debate. If he did take one, it have to be. It need to be on Fox News, and he need to have Sean Hannity as the moderator. Whoever we got, you can get Judge Jeanine Pirro, Jesse Waters. It's people that you can get. So it's like that's the only way I take another debate. It have to be on Fox News. If she don't want to accept that, I wouldn't worry about it.
Before and after the debate, in terms of who you support more to fix the economy, the number one issue animating voters in this election. Here's Trafalgar's polling. Now, Trafalgar is one of the best polling records out there. This sums up precisely what we saw last night. Who were you supporting before the debate? It was a tie, just like we've been seeing across the board in a number of these polls. 47% were supporting Trump, 47% Harris. A tie. Again, and a tie, remember, a national tie is an electoral college disaster for Harris. Who won the debate? Well, a clear majority, of course, as they always do, believe the Democrat won 55 to 43, just like they did with Hillary, just like they did with Biden. It's baked into the cake of the script of what we call virtual politics, the fabricated, constructed politics of legacy media-sponsored debates. But then look at their final question. Who are you voting for now? Gang, they're still tied. In fact, each one gained a point, 48 each. Kamala did not gain on Trump at all, according to Trafalgar. That's what happened last night.
Yep.
What happened last night galvanized the new populist realignment to support Trump even more. They're fueled and energized, and it confirmed the new populist realignment's determination to take down the establishment once and for all, and they failed to move the needle a millimeter for Kamala.
Yep.
That is exactly what happened last night.
That's the reason why she wants another debate. Now see, this is what the Democrats are going to try to bait Donald Trump. Oh, Donald Trump, you said anytime, any place, anywhere. Ain't this what you said? See, that's what they're going to try to do. But here's the thing. Donald Trump was saying that to Joe Biden, not Kamala Harris. He was talking about Joe Biden. I'm pretty sure he'll take Kamala Harris on. She's nothing. She's a liar. But the thing is, Kamala Harris, she's going to want to keep going on these networks like CNN, ABC, NBC. She want to go over there so they'll help her and cut off Donald Trump, be biased, just like ABC was last night. That's what she want. That's why she want another debate. But like I said, if I'm Trump, if I take another one, it's going to be on Fox News. If she say no, we ain't worried about it. Donald Trump went in their playground twice. He went to CNN. CNN don't like him. He went to ABC. ABC don't like him. So if you want to face Trump now, Kamala, come to Fox News. Come to Fox News.
Now, that said, you know what you're going to see over the next 2 weeks, don't you? You know it.
Yep.
You know exactly what you're going to see. You're going to see precisely what we've been seeing over the last 5 weeks with the media pushing all of these ridiculous response bias polls showing Kamala running away with it to fuel their narrative, their lying narrative. Now, you guys were great over these last few weeks. You didn't fall for it. And we all watched together her polls deflate just as quickly as the lying legacy media inflated them. We predicted that would happen, and it did. I need to ask of you once again, get ready to steel yourselves for another round of that. Get ready. It's coming.
Yep.
You just have to ignore it. In fact, as the blitzkrieg of completely misleading, fabricated response bias polling comes in, I want you to remind yourself of what Election Wizard, one of my favorite Twitter handles, tweeted out. He said, quote, "The media, like the ABC moderators tonight, will run an op to influence the polls. This is election interference at its most explicit. But when it all shakes out in a couple weeks, few will remember tonight's debate. It's a bleep on the radar. Trump did fine. Harris didn't pull a Biden. The fundamentals of the race haven't changed, and it's still Trump's race to lose. That's great advice. So steel yourself, get active, get resolute, and let's get out there as the new populist alliance, and let's together take down this corrupt political establishment once and for all.
Shout out to Dr. Steve. Make sure y'all go to Dr. Steve Turley's channel. Go subscribe to him. Let him know that I sent you. I definitely had to cover this because I just did my video right before this one. So make sure you go on my channel. Go watch my previous video. And I wanted to do the follow-up on this one because I see Dr. Steve had like some different clips and stuff that he wanted to show, like with the Dr. Phil that I didn't see. So I definitely wanted to go over this video to see exactly what was all in it. Salute to him. But obviously y'all heard what I have to say. I just didn't like the biasness. The way they treated Donald Trump was just wrong. But we got more videos coming. These two need to lose their job. They do not need to be moderators, bro. Like, that right there just don't make sense at all. So like I said, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about it. Thank you all for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.